Ostrog is not just a beautiful cliff with a monastery. It's a pilgrimage center, a place of power and a living legend. Today, I'll tell you why even atheists come here and why it's carved into the rock.
The monastery of St. Basil of Ostrog is located about 40 kilometers from Podgorica and 15 kilometers from Nikšić.
There are two roads to Ostrog. One is new, paved, and in good condition. That's the one we're taking now. The other is an old mountain road. Interestingly, despite being narrow and barely fitting 2 cars, there have never been any accidents on it, even when large tourist buses used it. We'll try to show it to you on the way back. We just don't know if it's still open. The monastery has 2 parts, the lower and the upper. The lower was built relatively recently, in the 19th century, to accommodate numerous pilgrims and visitors. It's notable for housing the relics of Saint Stenko, a boy killed by the Turks for refusing to throw his cross to the ground. The upper part of the monastery is Montenegro's main shrine. Many pilgrims walk from the lower to the upper monastery. It's about a 3-kilometer stone staircase. Walking this path is already considered a form of spiritual cleansing. Some people even go up on their knees as a sign of faith and humility.
If, like us, you're not very fond of walking,
There's a convenient parking lot for tourists and guests of the monastery.
but keep in mind that during peak season, it's unlikely you'll be able to park right at the entrance. The upper parking area is only for people with disabilities, pregnant women, and families with small children. Everyone else parks at the lower lot, about a 10-minute walk from the monastery.
Ostrog is carved into a sheer cliff about 900 meters above sea level. Thanks to its white color, it's visible from afar and looks like it's floating in the air.
This visual effect enhances the spiritual significance of the monastery as a place where the earthly and heavenly meet.
Inside are 2 cave churches. In one of them lie the relics of Saint Basil of Ostrog.
In the 17th century, he fled to the mountains during Ottoman rule to create a place of prayer and refuge for believers and those in need. He spent the rest of his life there serving people. The first cave church is on the lower level of the monastery. It's no bigger than 10 square meters. The ceiling is blackened by the saint's candles. Beside it is the bench where he used to pray. His relics are kept there now. Filming is strictly prohibited. Now let's go up to the second cave church.
The rock here is not just a wall. It literally breathes history. There's a legend that when Basil of Ostrog touched the wall, holy water began to flow from it and still flows today. According to tradition, after his death, a grapevine grew from the rock near him, still bearing fruit despite the absence of soil. These grapes are believed to be miraculous, especially for childless couples. Ostrog is famous for its miracles and healings. The most well-known story is of a paralyzed Muslim man who came here on crutches, prayed, and walked away on his own. Monks carefully document all miracles in chronicles, fragments of which are occasionally published. Throughout its history, the monastery has survived fires, sieges, and shelling. During World War II, a bomb hit the monastery but didn't explode. It split into two pieces. The fragments are still kept there as evidence of a miracle, and locals believe the Almighty himself protects the monastery. Interestingly, not only Orthodox Christians visit Ostrog, but also Catholics, Muslims, and even atheists. For Montenegrins, it is a sacred place where people come with their most heartfelt prayers. Every self-respecting Montenegrin visits Ostrog at least once a year. Overall, including tourists, up to 1 million people visit annually.
It's especially crowded on May 12th, the feast day of St. Basil. The best time to visit is from April to October. Spring and autumn are especially beautiful, less hot, and less crowded.
People bring back from Ostrog charms, oils, holy water, and icons. Behind me are taps where you can collect holy water or simply wash your face. They say that if you pray before the relics in the monastery and ask for what you truly need, it will surely come true.
The old road to Ostrog turned out to be well paved, and stone barriers have been added along the edge. So driving it wasn't scarier than the Kotor Serpentine.